I've always done art ever since I was probably about 6 years old. I was drawing things. So when it came to time to choose what I wanted to do, I took a Bachelor of Fine Arts at university. Enjoyed that, decided I wanted to stay with it, and so took a Master's of Arts and did a major in studio painting. I started off as a painter. I always taught art in the evenings to help fund my education, and then I went on to get an education degree and taught art at middle school. Now I'm just doing fabric works. I'm not doing any more painting. I switched over in about 2008. I always had sewed before, but I didn't take it as serious art. I just sort of made pictures out of scrap fabrics and then decided to pursue it more seriously. Now what I do is I do a sketch to get the idea, like I'm out hiking or canoeing or looking through photographs in my studio, and I'll do a sketch from that. Then I'll lay it out on my work table and start cutting out the pieces in fabric and sort of work from the big pieces, the background colors, to the foreground details. Yeah, I like touching fabric, you know, looking at all the different textures in it, and it's a much longer process to make a fabric work than a painting, like probably months longer than it takes me to do a painting. But I really like getting involved in that more detailed process that has way more steps to it. Where I live, there's no fabric stores, so I go to Prince Albert, which is 250 kilometers away, occasionally, and I don't go often, like maybe 3 times a year. So I like the way it forces me to be flexible, incorporate different colors and fabrics and textures that I might not have thought of using. And so you get some unique results that you wouldn't get if you were painting, for example, for sure, and you might not get if you had carefully chosen the fabric for the particular artwork you're doing. I applied for a Sask Arts Board grant last spring, and for my project I said I wanted to go somewhere where I could do some intensive sketching and not be distracted or not have time taken away by, you know, canoeing to the next campsite and spending most of my time doing that, which is how I usually travel. But so I needed money to go into a place where I had to pay for a cabin to sit and do my artwork from one location. And that was Morning Lake that I chose because you could drive there. It's very beautiful and quite remote when you get there, but it's one that you can drive into. So I thought it would be extra good motivation for me if I had someone there with me to share some of the duties that you do, like making food and carrying the canoe. Karen does all the same things, and we get along really well. So we both did our art, and we kept each other motivated, and it was interesting because we were in the same location, Morning Lake. Most days we stayed, you know, in the front area of the cabin and the lake shore, and yet we came up with extremely different views and subjects. You can kind of see some similarities in locations for our artwork, but not always, even though we're always in the same location. So it's interesting how 2 artists will look at a scene 2 different ways. So many people here have such a deep connection to this landscape, and when they see these artworks, they see places they're familiar with, and so it has a really good personal connection that way. I think I'm still pretty much determined to do more and more of these fabric works. I sometimes think I might do a few paintings too, but I'm just more pleased with the 3-dimensionalities of the textures and the feel of the fabric compared to paint on canvas. I did learn from the Morning Lake week-long retreat that doing sketches right on site is really, really good. Like, it gives you so much more feel for what your final work will be. Like, much more of a learning experience to sketch it than it is to photograph it. Art's, it's just always been really important to me because it allows me to process and visualize and create with my hands something that's really important to me. To me, it's my way of sharing my love of nature. It's how I describe things best is through visuals. I'm trying to get the feel, the emotional feel that I have when I'm in that place, whether it's experiencing a storm on the lake or whether it's the tranquility of paddling on a lake with going by a beautiful island. It's just like a little gem of a piece of bedrock with so much growth on it, moss and trees, and it's those feelings that I'm trying to capture more than anything.
Are you an artist who's interested in appearing on maxTV Local? Let us know at SaskTel.com/local.